All right. So good afternoon, everyone. So nice to see all of you again. We're talking today about how to package your offerings, and this is our fifth business lab of the academic year, flying right on by. So today what we're talking about are those offerings that we're adding for two reasons. One, to accommodate our clients and what they need. And it's also important for your own needs and wants as a practitioner. So in today's lab, you will learn how to create your own offering portfolio and how to diversify your offerings as your practice evolves. So this is really about that one signature system that we worked on in the last labs, and how to offer it in different ways. There was also some pre-work assigned to. There was the offering portfolio creator and the tips and tricks for fabulous offerings. So we'll just get started with the first one, the creator. And in order to make our practice sustainable, of course, in the long run, we will at some point need several distinct offerings instead of just the one. And that can mean, you start with one-on-one coaching, and then you maybe later, when you've been through a few packages, been, helped a few clients, and have gone from that kind of beginning to the end of a healing journey, and you get a sense of what it looks like, maybe you'll turn that into something else, and also offer, say, group sessions. Or maybe it's an online course or a mastermind or something like that. Just remember here, the key is that it's one signature system being offered in different ways. So you also need, when you're thinking about the different ways to offer your signature system, you want to ensure that you have a clear structure and that they all support each other. They kind of complement each other and they align with each other. And it's also very important to make sure that they feel authentic to you and that that's how you want to offer them. Some people may think, I want to do some group sessions because that's what I notice other coaches or other practitioners are doing. But if that doesn't resonate with you, then you need to find those offerings that fit with you and that are suited for you. So your offering portfolio will be a mix of different offerings that you create and you put together over time. So not when you're just starting out in your coaching practice, but over time, because you really do want to get used to it and get a sense for what other formats you could choose. You will still, of course, create your offerings around your unique signature system. We're not at this point adding another signature system because we want to start with that first one and do it right. And really, until that one can stand on its own, would you be looking at something additional? But we certainly can work within that signature system and maybe offer different things. So your offerings will differ maybe in content. So parts of your signature system, maybe not all of them, maybe just certain modules or certain sections. The form of delivery can differ. So one-on-one, group coaching, maybe an online course, maybe it's a book or a retreat or a VIP day. There's so many different things. And then, of course, the other thing that will differ will be your pricing. Low price entry products like maybe a mini course to higher end products such as your one-on-one coaching packages. A lot of coaches, especially in our arena, will start with one-on-one. And, you can look at what other ways you want to deliver that or can deliver it, and at what price points, and what parts of that signature system as you go along. So again, I just want to repeat it because it's so important. We're just working with the same signature system that you designed, just changing it up. So, and maybe, and it doesn't mean that when you pick something or you expand to something, say you're doing one-on-one, you're doing group sessions, and then you do group sessions for a while and you realize that it's not something that maybe you want to continue doing. And that's why adaptability is always important. We talk about this in every lab, about being flexible and allowing yourself to change your mind and do things differently. Just because you've set something up doesn't mean that it's set in stone and you have to do it forever. You can try something, and if it doesn't work or it's not something that you're happy doing, you don't have to continue. So you could take, here's an example, you could take, say you're doing one-on-one coaching and you're doing that for a little while, and you kind of get a sense of that healing journey, the patterns within the healing journey. And then you decide that you're going to do a group coaching package, and it's going to be 6 sessions. And you look at all of those modules in the signature system, or all of those sections that you outlined, and you think about the broader ones, or maybe you just want to offer the first 6, and maybe you're going to do a part A and a part B to the group sessions. There's so many different ways that you can offer it. Again, it has to resonate with you, so that's the important thing. And a lot of people will write a book or will offer a retreat or a VIP day. And then again, you know, those things are at different price points than your one-on-one. So in the pre-work, in the offering portfolio creator, the first section is really designed to gain clarity on what kind of practitioner you want to be. And of course, that can also change. So what you may define yourself as today may be different from where you want to be, say, in 6 months or a year. And that's okay too. We're adaptable, we're flexible, we're kind to ourselves. So let's go through the different options, and there are several. So the first one listed was a volunteer practitioner. And this is really just someone who wants to serve others, help others, but doesn't want to own a business, doesn't get paid. So the kind of, you know, I have an interest in empowerment coaching or trauma release, and I use those skills to help others where and when I can, but I don't do it. I don't do it to generate income. Then there's the pocket money practitioner. And this one is running a business, but the income more or less resembles the pocket money to no money at all. And typically someone in the pocket money situation may have something that kind of holds them back from going into it, and that they're generating more of a regular, consistent income. So here you might see somebody who maybe lacks those business skills or social media skills, or doesn't really, or a big one is that putting yourself out there. You could find somebody here is kind of, and it's kind of almost like playing it small, you know, like they could be a coach in their own network, amongst all of their friends, where they're comfortable. So then the next one is a part-time practitioner. And this is, you're in a business, and part of your income is as a result of your business. So it doesn't fully support you financially, but you do it part-time. So this would be the situation where someone has a full-time day job and they coach part-time in the evenings, on the weekends, something like that. A lot of times this is a step before somebody gets to the place of it being their full-time income. Sorry if you hear me sucking here because I have halls. I'm still, believe it or not, I still have this respiratory virus that I caught in November. And I'm now doing another round of antibiotics and still going through halls upon halls and cough syrup and all that sort of stuff. So if you are thinking, what does she have in her mouth? It's a hall. Okay, so the next one is full-time practitioner. And this, of course, is when you're just starting out, this is where you want to be moving to. And this is where you fully support yourself financially through your practice. There's no need for part-time jobs or other jobs or side hustles. And this is where you tend to aspire to be the thriving practitioner. And this, of course, the next one, thriving practitioner, is where we tend to all want to be at some point. And this is a higher degree of personal and financial freedom through your practice alone. This is where you start to see that you've created things that are standing on their own, that are passive, and that there's no in-person required and income is being generated. Say like online courses or training programs, certification programs, where you've kind of gained a bit of your time back, but you still have that earning potential. So those are the different types of practitioners. And of course, this will change over time. It is important, though, that you get clear on where you're standing, because your choice will determine what kind of offering portfolio is best for you. So there was a few questions to answer. Does anyone want to answer these with me? Do I have a volunteer? I'll ask the first one. What kind of practitioner are you at the moment? Anybody? Lori.
I'll go. So right now, just I would say probably a part-time practitioner. Okay. But yeah, because I do just one-on-one coaching, and I realize I can only do 4 at the most. Like I was filling up my calendars and 5 or 6 in a day, and I was exhausted, and I just knew that was not sustainable. Because I got to the point after a month, I was like, I hate coaching. I don't want to do this. I'm thinking, no. How many years did I just practice? Or learn? So yeah. So really, what I'm doing is I'm really thinking about the modules that, the different important things that my clients will need to learn, put that together as a group program, offer a little bit of one-on-one, and then from there present my group coaching enough that I really have nailed down like my videos, and just then do it more like as an evergreen kind of thing, and really build that community, because I really do want to do retreats, because I love to travel, and if I can make a really nice income from the retreats also, that would be cool. So
excellent. So how do you see yourself in terms of what kind of practitioner you would like to eventually become?
Yeah, that thriving.
Yeah, that thriving.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And the thriving doesn't mean that you're coaching 40 hours a week.
Right.
It just means that you've reached that level where you have that personal and financial freedom, and it's through your practice alone. And of course, the big one I associate with the thriving practitioner is that you're generating income, but it's not all tied to that in-person element. Yeah. So you do have more time freedom, like you kind of get some of that time back. So of course, that's important to us all. And so, Lori, which level are you willing to commit to at this time?
I would definitely, yeah, to get to.
Yeah,
Or,
to get to
oh
the
yeah.
thriving practitioner.
Well, like the next step would be my full-time practitioner. So yeah, I would,
Yeah,
yeah, if I could do that, even, I don't know, realistically, maybe 6 months, 5 months, something like
yeah,
that. So yeah.
excellent.
And then hopefully by next year, I've kind of worked through different things, and yeah, I can move up to that
Exactly,
thriving. Mhm.
exactly. And it sounds like you have a good idea of the different offerings, the
Mhm.
ones that appeal to you and the ones that you said that you like the retreat, and you mentioned the group
Mhm.
coaching. So that really is an important element, because we all know that doing something that we don't enjoy, that's not what anyone is interested in. That's what will burn you out. That's what will have you thinking, I don't even like coaching anymore. Like Lori said, I don't want to be a coach. That's why it's so important to find those modes of delivery that really resonate with you, because we do love this profession and helping others and helping our clients to heal. So we don't want to get to a place where we don't enjoy it, where we're not fulfilled by it. Because that's certainly, extremely important. Thank you, Lori, for
Yeah.
volunteering. Did anybody else want to share, or we want to move on? Ramona?
Well, as you know, like I have the one-on-one, but where I'm seeing I'd like to fill a gap is either after a client has done some GTR with me to keep them connected and going and inspired and empowered, and even before they work with me. Because sometimes people need a lot of nurturing and growth before they're even ready to say, maybe I should do some trauma work, right?
Exactly.
So I think something in a group program along that phase,
Yeah.
where they're still feeling like there's some touch from me, whether it's some live group calls interspersed along with videos and other supports.
Excellent. Perfect. Thank you, Ramona. Does anybody else have anything before we move on? Nope. Okay. Okay, so the next section focuses on the different kinds of offerings that could certainly become a part of your portfolio. And again, the first one is one-on-one coaching, and that's typically where we start in our coaching practice. And of course, the limitation here is there are only so many of these sessions that you can do. So you're restricted by the amount of coaching, the amount of sessions that you can provide. We only have so much time, and the more of these sessions you do, the more that there's a risk of the burning out. So let's look at some options that will allow you to leverage your time and your energy. And of course, that would bring you into the group coaching, which allows you to serve more clients at a time. Usually this type of coaching is less personalized and typically less expensive than the one-on-one. So it's much more affordable for the client. And what I find about group coaching is it's also builds that sense of connection and community amongst the people who are in the group. And that's also a wonderful attribute as well. It promotes that kind of motivating environment and people working together. And through these group sessions, a lot of people build friendships and relationships and that sort of thing. And so there's different forms within the group coaching, of course, the group coaching sessions, but there's also like a mastermind group session and retreats. That's a form of a group session as well. Live events, online events, private Facebook group where coaching is offered to members. In both one-on-one and group coaching, the main emphasis is on the in-person, the virtual, real-time coaching work that you're doing with one or more clients. Adding group coaching is ideal when you are skilled and confident enough doing the one-on-one coaching, which is why we always say that you evolve into other offerings. You really want to, you want to be able to do the one-on-one kind of really well and get a sense of that journey, of that healing, of what that looks like when you work with a client. You enjoy working with groups and feel confident in your ability to manage groups. And sometimes that can be a little difficult because you're dealing with more than one client at a time. You have a group. So you're trying to manage the communication, the interaction, all that sort of stuff along with your coaching and your messaging. Group coaching is also ideal when you're feeling maybe exhausted or burnt out from the one-on-one sessions. And you want to better, of course, leverage your time and energy. Additional materials such as handouts, etc., can be used to support and boost the in-person work when you're in the group sessions. So the next thing we have are membership programs. And I mean, it's similar in that there is a group and you have that community and that connection. But this one here tends to be open-ended in that new clients can join anytime. So there's not like a start date and an end date, which you may find with a group coaching program. Usually limited by time in that the membership has a begin and end date rather than by content consumption, like one-on-one and group coaching. So once sessions in the package are completed, the program is over. So like a membership program would be like your grad club, your GTR graduate club. The membership programs typically have both in-person elements and also independent elements. So in-person elements would be like your individual coaching or group coaching or mastermind sessions where you are in-person / virtual. Q&As, retreats, when you go live on a Facebook group page, that sort of thing. Independent elements in a membership program would be like an access to a library of online recordings or handouts or audio recordings. And it would be the membership program would really be content heavy, and that there is a library there that, members can access at their own pace and consume that content at their own pace. In membership programs, most of the weight is on those independent elements, not on the in-person elements. And like I just mentioned, plenty of material, clients consuming it in their own time. The independent elements are the foundation. The education, the training, and in-person elements are meant to help implement, answer questions, support the client, that sort of thing. But the main thing is really the library, the community. It's that continuing education as well. So the difference between membership and group coaching is memberships have more independent element materials ready, and new members, of course, can join anytime. Through membership, clients can further cultivate and keep their knowledge up to date, their skills up to date. And it's also a lot of practitioners have communities of practice or membership programs for their own well-being and to get support from other members, and also the occasional coaching. And you see communities of practice, like not just with practitioners and coaches, just communities of practices with lots of professions, lawyers, physiotherapists, all sorts of, and they're set up for that, that community, that ongoing education, that building relationships, support, etc. The next one is trainings and certifications. So this would be like the Gentle Trauma Release Institute, designed to teach specific skills and knowledge. And of course, this will differ from a membership program in that there's an academic element. So you're doing, modules, and at the end, there are quizzes or assignments. There are things that you're required to do to move on to the next section. And also like the practical hours, the 30 hours that we have to complete before we're certified. That would also be a requirement that you would find in trainings and certifications. And this one can be just self-paced and also enhanced with some in-person elements. And this would be like the virtual office hours, that sort of thing. So lastly, we'll talk about the independent products. And these are offerings that kind of have that passive quality. You create them once and they continue on autopilot. So those evergreen, those, once they're done, really all you have to do is update them as need be. But they you can launch them at any point and they generate income, and they don't require in-person elements or your time or coaching sessions, that sort of thing. So an example of those would be, like home study programs, videos, books, that sort of thing. You can also offer products that kind of maybe complement your coaching practice. And that might be like, I know some people, they offer, vitamins, like they work with companies to provide vitamins, or you can subscribe to a program that they have to purchase vitamins or essential oils, or, that sort of thing. So it kind of goes hand in hand with what we do, and that it promotes that well-being, holistic, that sort of thing, but it may not be what you do specifically or primarily. So why should we have an offering portfolio? What are the benefits? And of course, we already mentioned a lot of these as we worked through the material. One is to accommodate your clients and the needs of your clients. Your audience will have diverse needs. Some will need that one-on-one coaching. Some maybe don't want that one-on-one coaching, but would be more interested in group coaching or a retreat or whatever. So it allows you to say yes to more clients, to have something to offer clients. Some clients will benefit most from one-on-one, while others are suited maybe to a self-paced online course or to videos or whatever. But the key here is that it allows you to serve more clients in the ways that they need. Another benefit is in the long run, it will contribute to your practice being financially sustainable. Your offerings have different earning potential. So one offering could lead to a client accessing your other offerings. If you were to offer one-on-one, maybe a client will then sign up for a retreat because they've worked with you before and they want to be a part of that retreat, or a VIP day. I see a lot of coaching packages where a VIP day is offered at the end. So there's other, they can lead to other offerings that you have. Lower priced offerings often become that pathway to the higher end offerings. We see that all the time with free challenges. You go on Facebook, and if you follow someone, there will be like a promotion for a free challenge. I know Denise Duffield Thomas, I think that's her name. We just went through a money manifesting challenge, and at the end she offered the group a group boot camp session. So you'll notice a lot of coaches that will launch things like that. As clients grow to know, like, and trust, which is key, when they know, like, and trust, They want to be a part of your group. They want to avail of your expertise. They feel safe with you. They feel comfortable to invest in you and in your higher end offerings. So important to remember is that your offering portfolio does not happen overnight. You can't, it takes time. And if you try to rush it, you may end up offering things that, really don't resonate with you. You may offer things that you see other people offering, but that is not a good fit for you. So you want to allow it to evolve naturally. Begin with one offering and then add more of them to the mix as you go along. As is the same when you're offering other services, like when you decide that, okay, trauma release, that can stand on its own. I'm comfortable with that. I'm comfortable with the offerings associated with that. And now I'm going to do something else. And this is where you bring in a second signature system. So the same thing, only after the first thing can stand on its own. You don't want to add too much to the mix in the beginning, because that may lead to overwhelm, stress, and that, of course, is not where we want to be. So there were some questions that came up then in the workbook, which 5 to 6 offerings might be part of your offering portfolio. So we heard from Lori. Lori was the one-on-one coaching. She mentioned group coaching and retreats. Ramona also mentioned a few. Anybody else want to talk about what type of offerings they would consider, what their portfolio might look like? No talkers today? That's okay. I'm sure as you went through the workbook, you kind of had an idea of what ones you may work with in the future.
Can I ask you a
Sure.
question real quick?
Yeah.
So the VIP days, could you expand a little bit? I'm not quite sure. I think what you said is, okay, so my program would be reclaiming your life after trauma, basically. So it's going to be kind of a hybrid. I'll do 4 one-on-one sessions in an 8-week period with the different other modules in there. And then give me an example of what a VIP day to follow all of that up would be, how that would look, or what I would do. Or
a VIP day, like the ones that I know of, you can do them differently. Sometimes a VIP day is comes at the end of a program where you have worked, say for instance, like in business coaching. You work with the different elements of how someone sets up their business. And then on that VIP day, you really get into the launch.
okay.
So it's like it comes to like the culmination at the end. Other VIP days I've seen offered are when you're invested in that coach and you get to spend the day with them, meet them, get to know them better. And you probably work on some sort of maybe like I've seen VIP days where they do a photo shoot or they plan a retreat.
Okay.
Say, for instance, there's coaches that help you write a book. You do the certain modules throughout that are listed in the package that takes a certain amount of time. Say it's like a 10-week program. And then at the end, you spend the day with them to go through what your cover will look like. Maybe they'll write a foreword or, something like that. It really can be whatever you want it to be.
So what I'm kind of thinking is I asked, do you like life transformation, like a dream builder program? So what would you love to create, in the 4 areas? So my VIP day could actually be kind of like a workshop of the whole, now that we've, de-traumatized your system, brains functioning
Exactly.
better, what would you love to create? And then I could move them into that 8-week program also. Okay,
Exactly.
cool.
Exactly.
Perfect. Thank you.
And I know that now VIP days, they tend to be a higher end product because of course it's the in-person element. In-person elements are always a higher end product than independent. So I've seen VIP days tend to be expensive because you're spending the day with your coach.
Okay.
I mean, I have seen so many different types of VIP days. Some of them are, I think the majority of what I've seen is, like you said, Lori, it's kind of, now that we've done this, we're here, and you kind of move into that next phase, or it's the culmination. It's, you've done all this and now finally you're here. And it's kind of like that last day of the program kind of thing where you launch your business. But I've seen VIP days that there was photo shoots, there was a lunch and a dinner. There was really is, what you want it to be. But what you said, that sounds wonderful.
Okay. And would that usually be an in-person thing or if possible, right?
Yeah. Yeah. The VIP days I've seen is where they meet
Okay.
and they do
Which
it
would
in
be
person.
fun, would be really fun.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And I think that's the appeal. Like you've been working with someone so long,
Yeah.
and now finally you're planning this day together where you're going to work together and you're going to kind of like put the finishing touches together and you spend time together. And it's also a good time for like the questions,
Yep. Perfect. Thank you.
You're welcome. All righty. So the next workbook, I don't think there was a lot of work as such to do in that one. That was mostly about the tips and tricks for those creating those fabulous offerings that you'll have. But that is the advantage that I really think that's why it's so important to have that solid signature system. When we had the lab on the signature system, when you really spend your time there and really think about the program you want to offer or what that coaching package looks like, what that transformation looks like, when you have a solid system, you can really deliver it in so many different ways. And therefore you can create multiple offerings. And your offerings will contain, that balance of in-person elements and independent elements. Again, those independent ones are like those written materials, online resources, videos. In-person would be, real-time, one-on-one or group coaching, but it's in person or virtual. It's your time. And again, that more private time, that really does put you at that higher price point. So success tips. Start with what's simple and easy to deliver. And I think that's why we always start with that one-on-one coaching, because we come out of a program that we've, like the gentle trauma release certification, we do the modules, then we watch the case studies, we do the assignments, and then we finish up at the end with the 30 hours. So by the time we graduate, we are doing one-on-one coaching. That is what we know. So that tends to be what we work with initially in our practice. When you're first designing and creating your offering, summon the components that are most readily and easily put together. Because what you want to do is start getting clients. You want to start serving others, helping others. And then as you go along, look at what you're offering in that one-on-one session. And look at where you want to go with it. So begin this is such a good one, because so many people think that in order to start, in order to launch my business, I need to have a beautiful website. And we don't. You don't need a website to start your business. You just need a signature system and then a way to put yourself out there. Some people don't even have websites. Some people do everything on social media, while others do everything on their website. So the main point being, get yourself out there, start putting your services out there and helping people, because that's why we do what we do. And I remember Donna on one session, I think it was the signature system lab, where Donna mentioned the beta clients. And that's so important, because we use our beta clients to test and improve our offerings. So when you test in such a way, it allows you to tweak your offerings and make them as powerful as possible. A lot of the times our beta clients are our friends or people within our network. Find out what the ideal next step would be for your clients once they have gone through your offering from beginning to end. That's a great way to think about another offering. When you go through that journey with a client, think about where they are now and what do they need? What do they need at this point in time? What other needs and problems emerge? It may give you an idea for something else. And you cannot deliver everything you know in a single offering. One of the benefits of a package system is that the content is just what they need in order to take the steps necessary to move forward. Don't give more than they need. It could cause that overwhelm. Give them what they need to achieve those results. And the other expertise that you have could be another offering. So we're almost at, we still have about 10 minutes left. Any questions? I found these handouts and this subject matter to be not so, let's say, labor intensive as the other ones. The other ones you really kind of had to reflect and to think, and there was a lot of writing. This one here, I find that in the place that we're at now, where you do your 30 hours practical, you are already kind of thinking about what else would you do. And a good idea sometimes also is what you are interested in when you're working with others. So what your coach is offering that appeals to you may very well be something that resonates with you in such a way that you may evolve and offer that same type of format. No questions? All righty. So I hope you all enjoyed the lab. I'll end the recording here, but please feel free to stay online if you have any questions or if there's anything that you'd like to talk about before you go today. I hope you all enjoyed the time together and can see all the benefits associated with designing or creating your offering portfolio. And not only for your clients, but for you as well. And as you know, I'm always available to support you in any way that I can. I'm only an email away. Have a great day, everyone. And I look forward to our next business lab next month. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you.